Make sure I got this on. All right, we're in business. All right, today what we're going to talk about, let me start over again, get the microphone there. Today what we're going to talk about is the 50 to 80 yard shot. That's the deal. Now, hopefully, what I want to give you today is how to practice this the right way so that you can be successful at it, right? So I'm going to shut up pretty soon so we can all hit balls, and hopefully you can follow the same process, because it's not just a matter of the stroke itself, you know, the swing. We're going to go over that. But it's what you need to do to build the database in your brain so that you know exactly what you do when you get to the shot. And that the ball goes somewhere close to the same distance that you need. You know, how do you get that? How do you determine it? How do you swing one time and you hit it 80 yards, the next time you hit it 60, the next time you hit it 70? Well, that's not going to fly, right? So you've got to be able to hit the ball. It's not so much an issue of left to right, or at least it shouldn't be, from 70 yards. It's a matter of short or past. So, you know, it's just as bad to be 30 feet short as it is to be 30 feet to the left, all right? Now, bottom line is what you're trying to do is get it within 6 feet of the hole. Because statistics already prove anything outside of 6 feet, the numbers, they dive bomb. The best in the business. From 9 feet, it's almost like 25, 30% less probability of you making the putt. So if you don't get it within 6 feet, you're not getting up and down. But this is not really an up and down. We got a 60-yard shot here. You know, if you take 3 shots to get in here, that's not bad. That's not bad. Really not that bad at all. But yeah, the intention is to try and turn 3 shots into 2. That's the intention all the way around the golf course, to turn what's potentially 3 shots into 2. So here's what has to happen. Number one is alignment. You've got to find a way to know when you practice your alignment that you're aligned properly. Because if you haven't pointed the gun at the target, you got no shot. Everything from there on in, you're wasting your time. So that's why we'll start with alignment first. And I got a couple of tools here today. This yellow pole right here. All right, we're going to talk about that in a second. So we've got to align first, because the ball's going to go where the club face is going, right? And where the path is going. And the path itself is going to be affected by how you're aligned. If you're aligned over here, you're going to go, whoa, whether you like it or not, because you're going to get sick and tired of the ball going to the right. So you're going to figure out a way to move it when, unbeknownst to you, you just weren't lined up properly, all right? So I get, excuse me to get in front of you like this, but I get the ball, my belly button, and everything in a straight line, and I try and get this shaft. See, if I hinge it this way, I can see the flag stick, and then as I unhinge it, I can follow it right down to the ball, and then I set the club face where I want to go. Then I set up to the club face. The club face is the boss. This leading edge of the club face right there is the boss. If I can't line that up, I'm toast. All the rest of it's a waste of time. So I have to get back over here this way, line it up. If you want to, and you can find a little mark right here or something where you can line your face up to that, that's okay. I don't use that, but a lot of guys do. See, I've got it pointed in the right direction. See, I'm hitting a little punch shot here, so it should roll. Well, didn't go up that hill. And we'll go over the different types of shots to hit. But first off, I've got to prove to myself that I'm aligned in the right direction. And generally the punch shot will be the way to do it, because you're taking such a short swing, and you can see these balls are going straight at the target. So I can convince myself, if there's nobody around to help me, you know, you got to look at it. On the tour, a caddy today is not just a bag carrier. He's sort of like an assistant coach. You know, back in the old days when I used to play, it wasn't that way, because you wanted to get rid of him so you wouldn't pay him his percentage. That's a joke. No, don't laugh. It's happened a lot, you see. You played good the first 2 days, say, hey, pal, you didn't do very good. Get out of here. In the old days, all kinds of stuff used to happen. I remember Jimmy DeMerit told me once, he says, look, when you start on tour, Lopez, always get a hotel room on the bottom floor. Because if you don't make the cut, you can jump out the window and leave and not pay the hotel bill. So anyway, I got to convince myself I'm lined up properly. And here's the hard part. And that is that On the golf course, there's all kinds of things that will mess you up from being able to align yourself. Like I notice guys have a real hard time with a dog leg sometimes lining up with their driver. Most of the tee boxes sometimes are not lined up where you want it to go. And everything out on the driving range is square. You got a square mat, you got to square this, you got to square that. You've got to learn to sort of get your alignment with your club or whatever system you're going to use, and you got to put blinders on. When I get here, it doesn't look the same to me. But I trust what I did here, and I go, okay, that's where I'm going. 90 degrees to that is this, so that's where I set my face. Once I have the face set, then I set up. The biggest mistake I see is this. Whenever they put that left foot down first, they're toast. They're going to be lined up to the right. You can't line up down here and then go, let me see, am I okay? No. You line up there at the flag stick, then I line up to the club. Then if I want, I can swivel my head like this and follow the trail down, do a Jack Nicklaus, see? Never lift out of position, because then you're getting yourself a false reading. Any questions about alignment? Cool. All right.